what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock you so that you can take a look and see what exactly is over here. What does JP see? So you got the phone, a few notes of things, headphones, the H4, 5 laptop. Yeah, it's kind of what's going on over here. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin, and today we're listening to Jethro Tull with two songs once again. Sometimes you gotta give a double. With Hymn 43 and Slipstream, of course, off of their album Aqualung, of which I've been thoroughly enjoying. I need to shave. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day. Hopefully you are enjoying the channel and the videos as always. I'm always surprised really by the response of the videos. My favorite thing about the videos and about the response and the feedback that you guys give me are the number of comments. The comments are usually like 10% of the views, which is an incredible number if you didn't know. Like, that's really high. And I love reading your comments, so thank you so much for that. It's one of my routines actually. When I wake up, I go on Reddit really quick and I check my Twitter and I check the comments just to kind of scroll through and see what everybody's saying. Thank you for adding a little bit of joy to my morning routine. You guys can join me on Twitter. You guys can join me in the comments down below. Thank you as always for the donations and for the support on the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff. Let's do it. We're gonna listen to Hymn 43 and let it lead in to I almost said strip show, into Slipstream. Stop, guys. Jethro Tull, Hymn 43, Slipstream. Here we go.
Oh, Father high in heaven, smile down upon your son. Yeah, was busy with his money games, oh, his women and his guns. But Jesus saved me. Well, the lush separation enfolds you, and the products of wealth push you along on the power wave of their spiritless undying selves, and you press on God's way to your last dime as He hands you the bill, and you're spinning the slipstream, tideless unreasoning, paddle right out of the maze, and you paddle right out of the maze.
They're kind of playing around with those strings at the end of Slipstream.
Well,
Let's talk about Hymn 43 first. And by the way, both of those songs perfectly transitioned into each other, as the rest of the album does. We all know that. That's not even a point necessarily I have to make. But I do have to say it, the flow is rather nice. Hymn 43, literally from the get-go, it begins very heavy. You have those really deep and hard-hitting piano chords. I really love the guitar riffing from Martin Bear. Fantastic. I love it. And actually, I've noticed throughout the whole album, he has like really intense, deep riffs. I like this song in the way that Ian sings because he lets it loose in a very powerful and a little more clear, less gritty, less raspy way. Even though he still has his characteristic, a little bit of dirt in his throat, if you will, he definitely sings with a little bit more clarity. Come on, listen to that. Did you hear that very hard rock folk influence there? Let's go back. What a fantastic voice, right? I mean, I think you guys agree. You've been watching me, listen to Jethro Tull for a while, but what a fantastic voice Ian has to go from these very soft and melodic songs like Wondering Aloud, or Cheap Day Return. I don't know why I couldn't remember the song name. To go from very soft songs like that into heavier songs like Hymn 43. My God, the title track, Aqualung, and sounds so good in each of those, really bringing the song to life along with everyone else in the band. And I love that guitar right there. Come on. Is that called chunking? You guys, I think that you guys had said that's called chunking. I'm not gonna look it up. But I really love that technique because of the space, yet the drive that it creates. Perfect tension. And that nice piano on the background filling in that space along with the guitar. That just sounds like a perfect theme. John Evan does a great job of playing along with the band and really providing a very strong backbone, I feel, to it with his piano and his organ playing in general. I love that, and that's all. We get a little flute, you get a little sprinkling of the piano, and you come out with a little magic. Like, do you hear these little breaks here with the piano and the guitar and the way that Ian sings over it? Like, do you guys hear the same thing I'm hearing? Oh, that's good. I'm sorry, I sat here listening to the song for a while. I pretty much listened to it twice. But this was a really good song. I like this one a lot. From Ian's very characteristic folk, very hard folk, by the way, singing his sarcasm to the perfectly melodic piano by John Evan, a very memorable riff by Martin Bear, and some groovy and hard-hitting and nice and solemn bass playing as well from Jeffrey Hammond. Yeah, listen to the bass in the back there. It's almost like a very, very hard blues kind of riff that he's doing there, but I love that run. I like that moment with the bass in the back. And even though I feel like in Jethro Tull's Aqualung, from what I've heard so far, the bass, I don't want to say it gets reduced, but it gets a little bit muddled behind like the guitar and stuff. It's very prominent, If you listen to it, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of really nice licks, lot of really nice bass lines and rhythms being taken care of by the bass line. So Jeffrey Hammond does a great job as well. The lyrics. "O Father high in heaven, smile down upon your son. Hey, hey, who's busy with his money, games, oh, his women, and his gun. Oh, Jesus, save me." So it seems to be kind of continuing the theme from My God, kind of the criticism of religion. I like how he says, "Father high in heaven, smile down on your son." So first thought is like Jesus. But he says, "Who's busy with his money, games, oh, his women, and his gun." So it's like, it's not. And verse 2, "And the unsung Western hero killed an Indian or three, and then he made his name in Hollywood to set the white man free." And you know, it's interesting because I've always thought about that in the past, at least. You know, because you see the cowboy, they're portrayed as the hero, but they're kind of, you know, not all the time, because they twist, you know, they change things around. But sometimes they were portrayed as the hero in situations where they really weren't the hero, you know, killing natives and that kind of thing. So it's like a twisted portrayal of things that we view as good and heroic, when in actuality, they really aren't. If Jesus saves, well, he'd better save himself from the gory glory seekers who use his name in death. And I feel like in that line right there is really like the meat of this song and really the heart of this message. You know, if Jesus saves, well, he better save himself. So, you know, he has to, instead of saving others, the world, do something for himself. Why? Because the gory glory seekers who use his name in death, oh, Jesus, save me. So people using his name to do things, to commit, I would assume, violent acts of crime. I almost said violent acts of violence. Gory glory seekers. They're seeking glory for themselves. They're using violent means to get that glory, and they're using the excuse of Jesus' name to do it. So I think that line right there kind of encompasses what the whole ideology and Ian's thought process of the song and what it is the hypocrisy of people who are using something that's supposed to be more peaceful and using that to do harm against others. Nice. Let's look at Slipstream. Slipstream actually reminds me a lot of Wondering Aloud, where it has that very relaxed, and not just because it's acoustic, but it has a very relaxed and almost self-reflective kind of feeling to it. I really like those strings that come in about halfway through and end of the song as they begin to twist and distort a little bit. Very nice rises and falls in the music especially. And I like how with Jethro Tull they use that very effectively in an acoustic song, because an acoustic song can usually just be like right here. It's kind of flat, right? But even though it is still relatively low end, they still have moments where the music rises just a little bit and then goes back down and even pulls away in volume and reduces in volume just to kind of make a point as it comes back into fruition and full sound. So I really like the song. It's just a nice little transitional piece, I would feel, and I don't feel that that's necessarily a bad thing. It's not a bad thing for a song to be a transitional piece. Sometimes you need an interlude, a transition to get you to the next song. Of course, on this album, which we know as Locomotive Breath, which is actually I think the second song that I did on this album, the first one from Jethro Tull that I did on this channel. And that's a great song in its own right. The lyrics for Slipstream, well, the lush separation enfolds you, and the products of wealth push you along on the bow wave of their spiritless undying selves. And you press on God's waiter your last dime as he hands you the bill, and you spin in the slipstream, timeless, unreasoning, paddle right out of the mess, and you paddle right out of the mess. I'm not exactly sure what it's talking about. The slipstream, if I remember correctly, a slipstream is basically like how would you phrase it? It's like in the water, and like it's a constant movement in water, specifically I believe in oceans and seas. And if you go into the slipstream, it'll carry you. You know, think of like Finding Nemo with the turtle. I actually didn't really like Finding Nemo that much. It's not one of my favorite Pixar movies. So kind of getting that idea, as you press on God's way to your last dime, trying to pay your meal with your last dime as you're getting handed the bill, and then you spin into the slipstream. You go right along with the flow. You're pushed back into the typical routine of things without a second thought. I don't know exactly what the meaning is, but that's kind of where I'm heading with it. Of course, I want to know what you guys thought of the song. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day. Let me know what you thought of Hymn 43 and of Slipstream. You can join me on Twitter. You can join me in the comments down below. I hope that you're having a fantastic week, a great day, a fantastic and wonderful night. Hopefully, the weather wherever you are is whatever you want it to be. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.